Hey guys, we are backstage with Kameron Marlowe at Lasso in Montreal. How are you?
I'm doing so good. Thank you for having me.
Have you had a chance since everything that's gone on with your career to go back home to your hometown and play? Like, what does hometown in North Carolina think of what you've got going on?
Oh, it's awesome. Unfortunately, we don't really have a place to play back in my hometown, so I have to go to Charlotte, North Carolina, which is like
Charlotte's
40 minutes.
awesome.
Yeah, which is like 40 minutes outside of my town, and we get to play Coyote Joe's. We try and play it once every year or 2 years, or something like that.
The crowd a lot bigger than when you first started?
Absolutely,
it's a lot bigger. Yeah, that's got to be so cool for you to get to go back to places that you played before all of this kind of happened.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's been a wild journey. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay, you posted the other day some new music that you are working on. You said this is kind of how the album is going.
Yes.
How is the album going?
The album is going great.
It's good? Okay.
Oh my, I just left the studio 2 days ago. We just cut a couple more songs and getting everything squared away. And it's a different side of me that I haven't really got to explore. And I try and make different music. Like, I get bored really easy. So, like, I try and change my sound up. And I don't want every song to sound the same. So,
are there surprises on this?
There is going to be some surprises. Okay. Yeah, I think so. I think I'll surprise some people that remember Giving You Up and, like, where my music's at now.
That song is still so damn good, though.
Thank you.
Oh, my gosh. And that song, I feel like, is really cool for you because that was something you personally were going through.
Absolutely.
It was kind of, I remember when we talked the last time, that was, something that you were writing from a heartbreak that you went through and a personal experience you went through. And I remember you saying, like, the person you wrote it about was, at a show or, like, listening to it.
Yeah, that was a weird thing.
That was probably weird, yeah. But to have people connect with something so much and blow it up that, like, you really wrote as like almost like something that's therapeutic.
It's kind of crazy that happened because, like, for me, yeah, you're right. It was complete therapy for me. I just needed to get some things out of my head and just put it down on paper. And then I'll get messages all the time of people being like, you don't understand how much that song means to me and how much that helped me get through this breakup and stuff like that. And that's what it's all about. I mean, that's more of a feather in my cap than anything.
So cool. Do you feel like now you're in a different season of life? Like, are your songs reflecting maybe like a more positive side or like a happier time in life, which is great.
I mean, I still have the breakup song in there just because I love a sad country song.
Yeah.
But
my husband comes home and like writes country songs and like that are heartbreak ones, and I'm like, should I be worried? Why are you so inspired?
Oh, my fiance that feels the same way. But now, speaking of her, I've got a lot of love songs that are coming out that I'm excited about. It's it's a whole different side of me. It's been good.
So cool. What has been maybe at the first thing that comes to your mind as the coolest experience that music has brought into your life?
Last week, I was backstage at the Nickelback concert, or I guess not last week, a couple weeks ago. I was backstage, and Chris Daughtry was walking around, and
you're like, what
Chad Kroeger was just
happening?
hanging out, shaking hands and stuff. And I was like, this is a weird, surreal business to be in.
You're like, cool. How am I backstage at a Nickelback?
Exactly.
The one in Nashville?
Yeah.
Is that the one?
Yeah, the one in Nashville.
So cool. And like, did you grow up listening to Nickelback?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So I feel like a Nickelback Kameron Marlowe collab would be really cool.
Well, if you got the number, give it to me. I'm going to try and make that happen.
I don't know, but I mean, let's put it out. We're in Canada right now. We could put it out in the world.
Absolutely.
That would be cool. Who else was someone that like early on, because music, like you started out writing, like we said, as therapy, but what was that moment in time or maybe an artist that really kind of made it click for you that you were like, hey, this person's doing it. Maybe this is something I want to do.
I will say, when I first got to Nashville, I had no idea who anybody was. I didn't know anything about the music industry. And I had just finished up on The Voice, and I got a FaceTime call randomly one night. And it was Luke Combs. And he had found my number through people back in North Carolina, which
Everybody
is wild.
watching is like, what?
I know. And he basically was like, you need to make sure you meet as many people as you can. And he kind of just gave me some advice about how to, like, start my career. And I owe everything to him, and I owe a lot to his guitar player, Rob Wilford, because they both kind of guided me around and guided me along in this first stages of my journey.
That's awesome. What a guy to have, give you advice. You saved his number, right?
No, I didn't.
You didn't?
I mean, he called me on a different line. He didn't want me to have his real number.
He was like, we're not there yet, but maybe one day. That's awesome. All right, what do you have, other than, of course, being here in Montreal, but what is kind of on the brink for you that you are most looking forward to for the rest of 2023?
I'm ready to get in the studio again and finish this record up. It's been my kind of passion project this year. I've been writing a lot. I've been listening to a lot of songs and just trying to dial in this next record to be the best that it can be.
Cool. Are you someone that you feel like you have to write every song, or are you like best song wins, even if I didn't write it?
I do write a lot. I mean, I write about every day. And
Okay.
this project, I've kind of opened myself up to a little bit more outside stuff.
Okay.
Just because there's so many great writers out there, and I don't want to take any credit away from a great song. You know, like I don't want to just go in there, add a word, and be like, oh, I wrote this song.
Yeah.
If whoever wrote it is the one who wrote it, and if it's a great song, it's a great song. So
Any
it wins at the end of the day.
Collabs or duets?
I can't say.
You can't say.
Yeah.
That means there is one. There's got to be one.
We'll see. We'll see.
I was like, that is a good. He would say no if there wasn't, but there is some that we can look forward to. Awesome. All right, before we go, I always love to find out what you are listening to, and I feel like in the Nashville music industry, you have such a cool community. So, who is someone that you have been listening to a lot lately that you feel like everyone else should?
Marcus King.
Oh,
I love Marcus
so
King's music
good.
so much.
So good.
So I've been jamming out to that.
All right,
lately.
cool. Well, everyone, make sure you go check out Kameron Marlowe. Thanks so much for hanging out with us on
Absolutely.
Pure Country.